Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. A good philosophy for life. Unless you're using it to shield a homicidal kid as a danger to himself and to others.
I remember opening the caravan door. Then everything went blank. How many more times do I have to tell you?
And that's your final answer, is it? We'll have to wait and see if this amnesia clears up, won't we, DC Crow? You're looking forward to going home, Jack?
What do you think?
Oh, you won't mind if we call in to see you settle back in, will you?
Do I have a choice?
Take care, Jack.
Wow.
Come on, Dad. I need to know, did you tell him about Andy?
I'm going to head off home, get things ready for Jack. So if you don't mind, I'd like to say my goodbyes in private.
Well, looks like we're in for another orange juice, Victoria.
Did you tell them?
Didn't have to. Way ahead of me. Got it all worked out for themselves.
So, what are we going to do now?
Hope that one of them has a sudden attack of conscience.
Realistically.
Go down the village, ask around, see if we can dig a little deeper.
What, keep banging our head against a brick wall? Jack's well liked round here. Nobody's going to drop him in it now.
I don't know till you try. I hate that village.
Help. Starsky and Hutch are back.
Yeah, they don't look as if they just popped in for a spot of lunch, either.
Who's in charge here?
I'm the joint licensee.
If you've no objections, we'd like to ask your customers a few questions.
Yeah, sure, go ahead, ask away. Can I get you a drink?
Not while we're working, thanks, love.
We're investigating a recent incident involving Jack Sugden and his sons. We understand that the boys weren't exactly the best of friends. Anybody care to elaborate?
I think the bitter needs changing.
Oh, Terry, Ethan told me you rang about a christening. TJ, I presume?
Yeah, let's go somewhere where we can talk.
I've got a customer, excuse me.
Oh, I haven't lived here long enough to know the local gossip. Sorry.
Time for divide and rule technique. I'll take this side, you take the other.
Yes.
All right.
What can I get you?
I'll have 2 of those donuts
Not for me, I'm watching my carbs.
and a couple of coffees.
So, is this business or pleasure?
You wouldn't mind answering a few questions for me, would you?
Well, if you'd have come to see me in the first place, you wouldn't have needed to come back now. Who shot Jack? That's what you're trying to find out, aren't you?
We are investigating a recent shooting incident involving the Sugden family, yeah.
Well, I said to Bob, that's my husband, everyone round here carries guns with them all the time without managing to shoot each other. And all that bad feeling between the brothers, well, if you ask me, it was an accident waiting to happen. And to think, my Donna went out with one of those boys.
Did she now?
One of who?
I can't say I'd be sorry to see the back of this place.
Take care of yourself, Jack.
Thanks for everything.
Oh, no problem. Bye-bye.
Well, we can't hang around. We've left the car right at the front door on double yellows.
Couples in the village asking questions. You're not told me yet, have you?
Why don't you get lost? Dad doesn't need any hassle from you.
If you grass him up, I won't have an home any longer. They'll take me away if he goes into prison.
I didn't want this to happen either, Dad. But now it has. I've got no choice. Andy's going to have to take the consequences.
But the farm's the best place I've ever lived at. And Andy's all the family I've got. He's the only person that ever gives a stuff about me. If you get him sent down, then I've got nothing. Why should I have to suffer for something that he's done?
He's a lying, cheating, two-timing creep. All the time he was with me, he was seeing Katie behind my back.
And he gave her an STD.
Cheers, Mum. Why don't you tell the whole world?
So you'll know the brothers better than most?
Why do you want to know?
Well, it's obvious, Donna. Either Andy or Robert went berserk with a shotgun. That's why Jack's in hospital. Isn't that right, officer?
Couldn't possibly comment, Mrs. Hope.
There's no way. Rob might be a prat, but he wouldn't shoot anyone. He's too much of a wimp for starters.
Whereas Andy is a completely different matter. You do know they're not real brothers, don't you? Andy's adopted. Well, his father is a dyed-in-the-wool career criminal. In fact, he's still doing time for the murder of my late husband. Armed robbery.
So what? Doesn't mean Andy's done anything to Jack, does it?
Well, what about the time you went over to the farm and found half the wall blown away? That was Andy, wasn't it?
That's different. He only just found out about Katie and Robert. He was dead upset.
Any idea what or who he was aiming at, Donna?
It just went off. I wasn't there, was I? They reckon it was an accident.
Beginning to have a familiar ring to it.
No, Andy thinks the world of Jack. He's always gone on about family and that. He's grateful to Jack for taking him in. He'd never do anything to hurt him.
Even though he lost his own chance of having a family, because his wife ran off with his brother.
But what if he wasn't expecting his dad to come through that caravan door? What if he was expecting his brother?
Well, that makes perfect sense to me.
Like Andy's some sort of murderer? I don't believe it. There's no way.
He's way too soft for prison. You know what happens to lads like him inside? It won't last 5 minutes.
I've heard enough, Taryn.
That's when they kill themselves. They give up. They reckon it's the only way out. Look, just don't do it to him, please.
We best get the car shifted.
Look, families stick together. They don't walk away when the going gets tough. You owe him.
I owe him nothing. Not any longer.